There's something really weird about the way that Homer uses color terms in the Iliad and the Odyssey. He talks about the wine dark sea, but the only other thing he describes as wine dark is oxen. He also uses the word violet to describe iron, sheep, and the sea. He describes Odysseus's hair as the color of hyacinth. He uses the word chloros, which later came to mean green, to describe faces pale with fear, the olive wood of Cyclops' club, fresh twigs, and honey. He uses the word kuaneos, which later meant blue, to describe the eyebrows of Zeus, the hair of Hector, and a dark cloud, but never anything blue. Iron gets described as violet, gray, or with the word ithon, which means like burnished metal, and the only other thing that ithon is used to describe is oxen. Homer's use of color words also skews almost entirely towards black and white with just a splash of red. So what's going on? Homer's chromatic curiosities don't happen because he was colorblind or blind in general. They happen because ancient Greek hadn't yet developed color terms aside from black, white, and red. All languages develop color vocabulary in roughly the same order. They start with a light versus dark contrast and gradually add other hues. If you think of Homer's strange descriptions in terms of lightness versus darkness, suddenly they make more sense. The reason for the order in which colors develop has to do with how societies change as they grow more complex and develop new technologies. Red develops first because it's a salient color in even the simplest of societies. It's the color of meat and blood, and in fact, the word red in many languages comes directly from the word blood. It's also the easiest color of dye to make. Next are yellow and green because humans evolved to spot ripe fruit against a green forest background, and those colors are brighter than blue. Having those colors is also helpful if you need to identify different types of plants for medicine or foods. By contrast, blue is actually extremely rare in the materials that hunter-gatherer societies were using. Yes, sky and water are blue, but the actual things that people make and use were rarely blue. It's not until societies develop artificial dyes and paints that languages tend to create a word for blue. So Homer's prismatic problems aren't really problems at all. They're simply a reflection of the time and place in which he lived, in a society that hadn't yet developed a need for a complex color lexicon. If you're the type of person that enjoys learning about ancient Greek and understanding ancient texts like this, you should definitely check out St. John's College. They give students a classical education focused on the great books of history, and students even learn to read texts in the original Greek. They have campuses in Santa Fe, New Mexico, and Annapolis, Maryland, and they also offer graduate programs focusing on Sanskrit, Biblical Hebrew, Classical Chinese, and Classical Arabic. So if you're a budding classicist and you want to check them out, I've tagged them in the description.